The regular season is coming to a close. I'm Rich Crampanis. Thanks so much for logging on to ShoreSportsZone.com. We have got a full Friday night of high school football action. We'll crisscross all around Monmouth and Ocean County. We have to get started in Jackson. Game of the year contender, Red Bank Catholic at Jackson Memorial. Crowd out in full force. The Jaguars are feeling something special. 13-13 game at the half. RBC comes out with a purpose in the third quarter. Mike Cordova, the 30-yard run. The Caseys are marching, and the drive is capped off when Eddie Hahn finds the end zone on the 5-yard keeper. RBC with a 20-13 lead. But on the ensuing kickoff, the Jaguars have an answer in the form of Matt Castronova. He's going to give his team great field position. The return all the way down to the 22-yard line. It would lead to this. Vincent Lee, 3 yards out. We're tied up at 20 midway through the third. And the Jackson Memorial defense is the real underrated hero in this football game. They made big plays when they had to. This is Brad Greenway with the stop, forcing RBC to punt. And then check out Mike Gowlick. He is off to the races. 48-yard touchdown run. It's 27-20. Jaguars by 7 late in the third. We move to the fourth quarter now. This RBC team has shown poise all season long, and Eddie Hahn delivers a beautiful ball to Trevor Cowley down to the 5-yard line. Early fourth quarter, we're just 55 seconds in. Mike Cordova ties it up at 27. And then it became a battle of will between the defenses. The RBC defense would get a big stop. The Caseys have a chance at a game-winning drive. 3rd and 6, Hahn to Trevor Cowley, move the chains. The Caseys are on the move. But on 3rd and 13, 2:49 to go, Hahn scrambles. He can't get the first down. So now Jackson's going to get the ball with just under 3 minutes to go, a chance to win the football game. And it's time for Joe DeMayo to go to work. Here he finds Matt Castronova. There's under a minute to go, and the Jaguars are driving. But the RBC defense comes through. It's an interception here by Mike Cordova. We are going to overtime, tied at 27 apiece. Remember, each team gets the ball. Jim Portella's team will get the ball first on offense. 4th and 5, Eddie Hahn will go to the air. His pass is broken up by Kyle Johnson. So now Jackson gets the ball. A field goal or a touchdown will win it. And the give is to Mike Gowlick, and the super sophomore shocks the Garden State. No one saw this coming. My, oh my. 33-27. You see the scene in the end zone. This was one whale of a football game. After RBC beat Manalapan so handily, everyone assumed it was a foregone conclusion that the Caseys would roll past Jackson Memorial and get ready for the postseason. But the Jaguars had something else in mind. That's to say the least. Gowlick with the game winner in overtime, and a remarkable streak has come to an end. 40 straight Shore Conference wins for RBC. It falls on Friday night in Jackson, New Jersey. Jackson Memorial is heading to the postseason with confidence. And after the game, Alex Lorenzo talked to Mike Gowlick about the game-winning gallop.
Running behind the line, open up the hole for me like they've been doing all game. Me and Vinny ran right through it, like we executed it, and won the thing.
Let's go to Matawan. This is a great county battle. Ocean County's Barnegat, the Bengals paying a visit up north to the Matawan Huskies. 2 playoff teams. This is a great tune-up for both squads, and well, Matawan was able to establish the run right from the get-go. Devon Spann with a nice run here. He goes out of bounds, and then Jimmy Pearson at quarterback to give to Micaiah Caesar. Caesar finds the end zone. It's 7-0 Matawan early. And the Huskies would then go to a short swing pass. Sean Ramcharan, he's been making plays all year long. There's a 23-yard touchdown pass play. It's 13-0. So now Barnegat trying to get back into it. St. John Erskine to the air. Manny Bowen comes down with a great grab. And the Bengals would get on the board early in the second. Erskine calls his own number. A 1-yard touchdown run. It's 13-7. But Matawan just kept on grinding. Look at the vision by Span there from short range. His second touchdown makes it 20-7. And Matawan showed that they could run the football, which is always so important this time of year. Here's Caesar with another great run. But Barnegat would make things interesting late in the second quarter. This is an interception by Xavier Young. And that allows St. John Erskine to capitalize on the turnover. Erskine to the tight end, Kyle Morris. It's 20-14. And then just before the half, after another turnover by the Barnegat defense, Connor Lustenberger with a field goal at the half. We've got a football game. It's 20-17, Matawan by 3. But the Huskies bullied the Barnegat Bengals in the second half. This is Span with a 38-yard touchdown run. And then the knockout punch comes courtesy of Micaiah Caesar. Hail Caesar. Look at this run. 58 yards from Micaiah Caesar. You know, all of Matawan's stats, if you go on our stat zone on shoresportszone.com, they're all passing. You see great numbers for DeJohn Rogers. You see great numbers for Justin Ferrara. But on Friday night in Week 9, the Matawan Huskies were able to establish a ground attack, and it was Caesar and Span doing the damage. This is an excellent Barnegat football team that Matawan pulled away from in the second half for a 40-17 victory. One sad note, St. John Erskine, the talented quarterback, fractured his ankle late in the game. He is out for the year. That is a big storyline heading into next week when Barnegat is in the playoffs. Our thoughts and prayers are with St. John Erskine, who will sign on National Signing Day to play college football at Bucknell, an outstanding student athlete. As for Matawan, they are much better than their 5-4 record. John Kay knows that. He talked to TJ Brustowitz about his team getting a quality win and getting ready for the postseason.
They got some football players over there. Let me tell you what. I mean, a big tackle going to Wisconsin, a running back going to Penn State, a quarterback going to Bucknell. And they look like what they look like in uniforms, man. And I'll tell you what, and our kids really stepped up, play hard, and we played good team football. You know, we think we can make some noise in the tournament. So, you know, once you're in, it's who's playing hot at the right time. So, you know, we feel good about our club, and you know, we feel like we're going to go out there and play some December football.
Let's head out to Middletown, where the Eagles of Middletown South hosting Freehold Boro. The Middletown South is ready for a postseason run. They were a very impressive football team on Friday night. That's James McCarthy with the tackle for loss, and with a 7-0 lead in the first quarter, it's Cole Rogers finding an 11-yard hole there to move the chains. The drive would be capped off when McCarthy finds the end zone from 5 yards out. It's 14-0 Middletown South. The one strength of this team, no question, is that Middletown South offensive line. Look at the hole created for Cole Rogers. He's down to the 6-yard line. The face mask brings it to the 3 on the very next play. Rogers with his second touchdown. It's 28-0 at the end of one. And check out Spencer Peerless. This is a good-looking run here. 43 yards for the score. The Middletown South Eagles with a dominating effort. 42-0 is your final. It's going to take Sunday, maybe even to Monday, before the brackets are all official, but the speculation can begin with no question about it. Middletown South will be home in the first round of the playoffs. Freehold Boro, this team, remember, they were 7-0 before they ran into the buzzsaw of Manalapan and Middletown South, so Coach Dave Ellis has to get his team spirits back up for the playoffs and see if they can find that magic that got them 7 consecutive wins. Middletown South 42-0 winners over the Colonials. We head to Brick Township, where the Dragons close out the regular season, hosting Toms River South, looking for an A-South title outright. Opening drive of the game, though, Toms River South turns to their talented running back, Khalil Green, 35 yards, and Toms River South is on the move. But the Brick defense would come through, knocking the ball loose. Joe Bruno recovers the fumble, and they turn things over to Carmen Sclafani, who wastes no time to get on the board. The first offensive snap of the game for the Dragons, Sclafani to Matt Schleifer. This is 75 yards. A touchdown puts Brick in front 7-0 early. Later in the first, Khalil Green showing his strength. Boy, it took just about everyone on the Brick roster and half the town to bring him down. This is a hard-nosed 12-yard gain. And it's only fitting that Green caps off the drive with his 1-yard touchdown. The PAT is no good. It's 7-6 Dragons late in the first. Early second quarter now. Sclafani, the only player on the shore with 1,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. 35 yards. Another rushing touchdown for Carmen Sclafani. It's 14-6. Brick would get the ball back, but Sclafani picked off by Tyler Sosa, just his third INT of the year. Toms River South takes over at midfield, and then it's time for the dangerous Tymier Berry to go to work. How many great highlights have we seen from Tymier Berry this year? This was a pretty one. 24 yards, the 2-point conversion ties the game at 14. But then Brick takes control at the end of the half and the rest of the game. Sclafani, the 20-yard run. The Dragons would settle for a Casey stackable field goal. It was 17-14 at the half, and it was all Brick in the second stanza. 34-14 is your final. The Dragons clinch the A-South title outright. Congratulations to Coach Rob Dahl and his staff. That is one tough division, and Brick finds themselves on top. And when it comes to the playoffs, I can't wait to see this Central Jersey Group 4. What a bracket it's going to be. Top heavy with Shore Conference teams. Middletown South, Jackson Memorial, Brick Township, Neptune, Freehold. It's all going to shake out. Good chance we're going to have a local state champ in that bracket. It's going to be a fun postseason, and Brick could be a big part of it. The defending state champs are ready to get going next week. In Rumson, RFH and Brian Baxter ready for the playoffs. They looked awfully tough against Holmdel. It was 21-0 at the half. Third quarter, here's Matt Veccarelli. See you later. 52-yard run for Veccarelli. Rumson-Fairhaven has a 21-0 lead. Now, Holmdel was able to drive it with a big run. They were on the 5-yard line, but the RFH defense buckles down. Nice stop there on fourth down by Mike Ruane to break up the pass. And I'll tell you, Rumson-Fairhaven might have the most 80-plus yard runs in the state. Lucas Seckler with an 85-yard touchdown run. Last week, we showed a Mike O'Connor 90-yard run. Charlie Volker has had some big, long runs. And it is a dominating effort for Rumson-Fairhaven. 41-6 is your final. Charlie Volker has kind of been up and down injury-wise. We didn't see him in this football game, and certainly Rumson-Fairhaven didn't need him. The Bulldogs, if they have a healthy Charlie Volker, could be right back in the mix for another state title. Rumson will be home next week for the playoffs. Remember, as soon as we get the matchups for next week, we will post them on shoresportszone.com. RFH 41-6 winners over Holmdel. Meanwhile, in Little Silver, Red Bank Regional hosting Manchester. Scoreless game at the half, but the second half was all Bucks. The defense played solid all night long. They create the turnover right here. He gets the ball back to Jack Nowitzki in good field position from the 25-yard line. Nowitzki showing the wheels off. That is a great elusive touchdown run for Jack Nowitzki. It's his second of the game. It's now 21-0 Red Bank Regional. And then the Bucks go to the end around, and Sadiq Palmer shows off the afterburners. One of the best wide receivers in the Shore Conference. He is a dangerous weapon. That made it 28-0. But I want to give some props to this Manchester team. They're 0-7 heading into this matchup. They're down 28-0, and here they are, still fighting and still competing. That was Jerry Blackburn to Robert Planter, and then in the closing seconds, Jasir Cooper, only a sophomore, finds the end zone. And that's a good way for Manchester to wrap up the regular season. They find the end zone. 28-7 is your final. RBR is going to need some help to find their way into the postseason, but Nick Giglio has to be awfully excited about the future of this program. Whether they get into the playoffs or not, there is no question about it. Red Bank Regional, a much improved football team. They double their win total. Sadiq Palmer will be back next year. This is going to be a dangerous team down the road. We talked to Sadiq Palmer about the change in culture at Red Bank Regional.
We started playing as a family more, and we just wanted more. So that's why we got it.
What do you think is the difference between this year and last year?
Hard work. Nobody's selfish. We play as a family.
Oh, the moon was out. Just a picture-perfect night for football at Asbury Park. The Bishops hosting Shore Regional. What a great job by the band in the cold weather. And this Shore Regional team, they turn to their workhorse on the opening drive. It's Doug Goldsmith. 12-yard run for a first down, and then Goldsmith, he ran for 45 yards on this drive, a 9-yard touchdown run. But take a look here. He's hobbling a little bit. He would leave the game and not return. Mark Costantino in postgame saying that it's just an ankle sprain, nothing serious, and they want to get him ready for the playoffs. No worries. Shore Regional has plenty of other options in the backfield. Tyreek McCain, good run to the 2-yard line. It would lead to this. Michael Moore. This is the world's longest 2-yard touchdown run. He ran about the length of the field to get to the other side in the end zone. That made it 14-0. How about this Shore Regional defense? Number 1 in the Shore in terms of points allowed. Devin McLaughlin with the tackle for loss right there. And then check out Alex Johnson. Missed the quarterback the first time. Second time around, no problem. Good quarterback sack right there. A shutout for the Shore Regional defense. And then Ryan Campy, they don't throw it much. That right there is the definition of a wounded duck. Connor Rempel comes down with it all the way down to the 5-yard line. And it would lead to this. Devin McLaughlin finding the end zone. And Shore Regional cruises to a 35-0 win over Asbury Park. Remember, Doug Goldsmith is a guy who missed the first 4 games of the season. He had a small fracture in his kneecap, so hopefully he can get himself healthy, and Shore Regional can take that final step. They've been so close to a state championship over the last 4 or 5 years. They want to take that next step. They should be a number 1 seed. 35-0. The Blue Devils get the win over Asbury Park. We'll be right back here on Saturday with more high school football action on ShoreSportsZone.com. Coming up on Sunday, the brackets will be revealed for postseason football. We'll break that down for you, and you'll also have a chance to vote for the top play and top performer of the week. We'll hand out 2 more Monmouth Building Center game balls, and thanks so much to our sponsors for allowing us to give you this great high school coverage all year long. We've had field hockey, soccer in the state tournament. We'll continue that throughout the week, and we'll get ready for the road to the state championship in high school football. For our team at ShoreSportsZone.com, Luke Krampanis, Diane Krampanis, Alex Lorenzo, and TJ Brustowitz, I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for logging on and checking out our highlights, and we'll see you tomorrow with more high school football action.